So what birds are you teaching these days?
Uh, I, s- I started earlier with what was mostly in the Indian boards. My first student was from the Karnataka State Board. When as time went by, it went on to ICC boards. I've done ICC myself, but I've also taught initial years mostly ICSE and the state boards for 10th and 12th. As time went by, it went on to those earlier years. I taught students of the graduate level, BSc Mathematics and BE Mathematics up till their final years. I also taught accountancy up till final year graduation. That's initially, but as time went by, as the international boards started spreading in this country, I got requests to teach from the international boards. I found their curriculum interesting, challenging for the student in the way the questions were being asked and the knowledge they wanted them to know. It took me back to the time when I learnt my studies. That is how we were taught, and I was comfortable putting across the matter in the correct way to these people. So as time went by, I've slowly, the number of students I teach of local syllabus is slightly less. Many reasons. Not many are asking. They are managing with the other tuition places, and I'm not a person who teaches for marks. So people who want marks go to others for whatever help they want. I'm more in those who are interested in concept learning, or those who want their children to get back to appreciate mathematics. Those people come to me. Quite busy through the day, and yeah. So most of my students right now are from international boards which are operating in India with permission, and also I teach students in the US of A, in United Kingdom, UK, and in Germany, and couple of years back I had students in Australia too. Which of these boards are the most challenging? Depends on the curriculum. Most challenging I found the UK advanced maths was the most challenging. Next, IB math, IB, what is called International Baccalaureate. That level of school curriculum is pretty good. Then the American system and the Cambridge system, or the Cambridge system, which is being followed in India. And then, of course, what we have here, we need to move out of rote learning and into a more concept understanding style, but that will be taken, it will take its own course and time to happen.
Can you tell us a little more about yourself?
Yeah, going back to how I started, without father support and complete support, and being brought up by my mother, and by God's grace, I've had a good rapport with my brother and sister all my life. Mom has been gracious in all the hard work she's put to bring us children up. Sister was married, that's God's grace. And but after that, besides that, God has been good all this time. Come up in the right, without too many hassles, other than the hassles that everybody comes across, issues that people come across in everyday life. But we learn how to deal with it and move on. I got married in around 1988, I think. We just happened to meet. We were good friends among a group of friends. We proposed to each other and just got married. Nothing big about it. As you can say, not even a love marriage, not even an arranged marriage. You should say marriage of convenience for that time. Okay? Needed to be done, part of the requirement of life, we got married. We have a daughter who studied nutrition and dietetics in a top college in Bangalore. And then she went online. She used to do online gaming. She didn't have very much interest in social activities. And through that, she met a lot of people internationally. Through that, she met her husband-to-be. And after much chatting and discussing and thrashing out various issues, they decided to get married, and she's now living in the US of A. And she's quite happy there. Besides that, had a good, no complaints life. I do take life as it comes. I have no grudges against anybody. I don't. Everything is taken as it comes. Everybody has issues in life. Everybody has difficulties. We cannot judge people by what we see on the outward side or what ABC tells us about them. Unless we meet them personally and we don't know and we know their complete story, we cannot take a call on who we are talking to. And we should not be triggered by what people think of us, what people say about us. It's none of our business. If we are happy with ourselves and we're happy with how the world sees us, how we are putting ourselves to the world, that's enough. What the world thinks about the size of the car we own or the size of the house we own or how beautiful we look just doesn't matter. It is how you project yourself to the world and how satisfied you are with yourself. It has been my key in life, and that has kept me peaceful all my life up till now.
Any lessons learned in life?
Lessons. Oh, that's a big story. In all my years of teaching, 16,000 and more students have said, I've come across many touching stories, many challenging ones. I've had many students I've taught for free because of their economic background and their situation. They could not afford it. So I said, it's okay if you can't afford it, just let the child make a future. That is the key. I still do teach a couple of students for free if they have financial issues. It's not a worry for me. It's about the child making a career and a future. But a couple of incidents without naming the people, quite a few. One, there was a student we had in the college I was teaching. By the way, I've taught also in a college called Presidency College for 2 years. I've also taught in an international school called Legacy School, Bangalore for 4 years. But in the college which I was teaching, there was a student who was to be pretty mischievous in class. So we had a little bit of a tough time, all the staff, however good we were, of keeping him under control in class. Then once one of our teachers brought him, had a personal talk with him, and we found out that his father had been, after his mother had passed away, was married a second time, and the mother was treating the two boys as maids of the house. They had to finish their home work, maintenance of the house, cooking, cleaning, whatever, before they came to college, go home, finish the housework before they met their friends, finish the housework before studying, so much so that their only outlet for these boys to have some fun was to have it in class. After much counseling, they got set right, but that is one incident. Then there's another student we had who was paralyzed from his foot down, from his ankle down. As time went by, when he joined the +2 PUC college, as time went by, his muscular dystrophy or something it's called, where it reached his knees, slowly reached his hips, and by the time he finished his second year PUC, it had reached his shoulders. He could just about move his fingers to write for his exam, and he could speak well. He finished his PUC, he went on to his graduation, finished his graduation with great difficulty of writing his papers, but got reasonably okay marks. But and then he got a simple job at home to work on the computer, to tap with his fingers. But unfortunately, his muscular problem which did not have a cure, reached his brain, and finally he passed away. That's two. Another student whom I came across, I had a difficulty. He was studying preparing for MBA entrance. His study table was next to the TV. When he wanted to study, because the exams were very close, and he asked his people at home to reduce the volume of the TV to let him study, they told him go study somewhere else. Meaning to say, these are just 2-3 incidents. But I have plenty more. I had another student who was, all his limbs had muscular problems, but still studied, had a very faithful transport person, an auto driver who took him for all his school activities wherever he had to go and looked after him. He finished his graduation also, and I think he's working somewhere now. But there are different people with different challenges in life. We do not know who is going through what. Everybody puts up a face. They smile, they wish you, they say, "Oh, how are you doing?" The biggest lie in the world is, "I'm fine." That's absolutely not true. Most people are going through hell in their own personal lives. Most of them. They don't tell you. They're managing, put up a face, they attend, you see them at a wedding, you see them at a birthday party, they smile, laugh around, but inside they're struggling. So I've always approached people that everybody's got a challenge in life, and treat them with respect, treat them with dignity, and help them wherever you can. A lot of lessons learned in life. I've just quoted 3, but in 16,000 students, I would say if I actually spend time and recall, I can recall at least 1,000, over 1,000 stories of people with various kinds of challenges and issues in life. But through that, those lessons learned in life, or coming across these people and how people study, I also, through the students who I teach, through their interaction, I get a feel of what the situation is at home. And so I never have scolded a student for not studying, because they may have had a situation at the home where they could not focus on the studies. There may be regular fights between the elders of the house. There may be financial difficulties. There may be a health challenge for somebody in the house. We don't know. We can't take a call. All you have to do is help the child or support the child in whatever best we can, at least to get on with their careers, so that in the time to come, they get the confidence to face life, and later on, get a better view of life. Besides that, as I learned the lessons, I've also passed it on to other students, so that they get the right values in life. It's important for every child to learn. Sadly, personal values in society is very strong, is missing to a huge extent in today's society. Personal values is lost, and over time, I wish part of the school curriculum will be about value education, school curriculum, higher level education, because more than personality development skills, employment skills, those are the things which we need to focus on more than just pure academics. Today's world, child wants to learn anything, he doesn't need to go to a school. He can put on YouTube or some app and he can get what he wants. A little bit help from a third person, a good teacher is good enough. But the values, nobody is teaching them. Who teaches you how to handle an emergency situation, like a choking person who's choked on food, like a person who's like a fire situation, like a person who's had an accident. Nobody teaches us that. We just walk away, or we don't know what to do. And sadly, in today's world, everybody is taking selfies rather than helping the victim or helping resolve the situation. That's what we have to work on. So with all these lessons learned, 2 things. 1, everybody's got their issues. Stop judging people. 2, learn values and practice kindness to all others around you. It doesn't charge you much. You don't lose anything by being kind to others.
Do you have any message to the students and teachers?
Yeah, for all the teachers across the world. From what I have experienced from the teachers, students have come across. Stop, although that's what the entrance exams may require, and what people have thought the business or employers require, it is not purely the marks. Get that out of your children's heads and get that out of your heads. If they do not understand concepts, they may have their marks today, but they will not understand what you're doing. And believe me, there are enough of HR people who will tell you, 80% of the people, 80% of the students passing out today are not employable. I've heard this from plenty of HR people whom I have taught and other contacts which I've come across. 80% of the students are not employable. Nobody will come out and say it in the open unless they are a pretty well educated or respected person in society. But from my opinion, what I've come across, students are, so stop focusing on just purely marks. Yeah, they need the marks. Please focus on concepts. If you do not know, there's no harm in going and finding out for yourself, learning the concept and teaching the student. No time, make time. You want the child, teach because it's a passion. Don't teach just for the money. Teach to make citizens of future society. Because it's not only them. What you want your child to learn from another teacher is what you should be passing on to the teachers, to your children which you teach in the school. For students, you need your education, you need your marks, but do your education, whatever you learn the concepts, learn how to ask why, how, and is things done. Why do they follow this procedure? Why can't I do something else? Why is this wrong? Why is that right? Don't just follow everything that is told to you. If a teacher is not able to help you for lack of time, go to the net, ask people around you, ask people in the education world or people who know. They will give you all the information correctly. Understand what you're doing. Don't just follow what is told to you. So that if you ask HR people and they go for interview and you go for interviews, they say, okay, you got so much marks, tell us what else you know. If you cannot make a conversation on absolutely any topic in the world for at least 5 minutes, don't think you made it in life. That is a quote from my former principal of a college I taught, which I find very true in today's world. You cannot talk about anything, any topic. You can talk about what is a runway and how do aircraft land. You can talk about how do brakes of a car work. You can talk about how the people in government are elected. You can talk about how government pays for the services that you get in your everyday life and how you can ask the government to be accountable. Anywhere in the world. You can talk about, learn these things. All my life, I have hardly watched movies or TV serials. My learning process is today's world through YouTube, earlier world through books and encyclopedias, is continuously building my knowledge. Continuously building. Every day I read up on something. I come across a word which I have not seen before, I look at the dictionary. Today's world you can look at Google. But you look at the dictionary those days. Find out how it is pronounced. Like the word cafe. Yeah, today's world everybody knows. But there are many other words you do not know. How it is pronounced, what it means. We take it for granted we know what it means. Read up. During COVID time, there was time to spare. I was watching videos and conversations between the air traffic controller and the pilot in emergency situations. Just got to know how they talk, what happens. So you understand the difficulties of a pilot. Watch the movie of that plane which landed in the Hudson River. See the difficulties they have. Something extra you learn. See how locomotives work, how your brakes work, how does the car engine run. If you're stuck on the road and you don't have help nearby, can you fix it yourself? No. Learn other things in life, learn your studies, but in whatever you learn, you make sure you know everything well, perfectly. Become knowledge to reckon with in the field which you want to be an expert in. Don't be what we call a light idea person of the particular topic. In Hollywood movies, you have a lawyer which comes to give evidence in a case, and very often he's asked to be an expert witness. Both sides, the defense and the prosecutor, can check with that person of how valid they are in their opinion before they start asking the questions and get his opinion. People when you go for work, you get a job. You do that. After a few years, change, do some of the job. Again, change, do some of the job. It doesn't help you. Go for something which you like, which you enjoy doing, evolve with the job, learn more and more, become an expert in the line such that people should say, this one, call so and so, they'll tell you what to do. That's the reputation you have to build. Because one, you will enjoy yourself, two, you command a market value. And you do not have to say, when you quote a price, reasonable price for what service you want to give them, they'll pay you because they know you're worth it. Don't just keep rolling with no knowledge in your head. That doesn't help you. Today's world, a lot of people, how do I keep getting students without doing a single advertisement? Why? Because people who were taught before have liked my work and they say, hey, you want to learn about that, what your son is having a problem? Go to so and so. Here's the number, contact him, they'll help you. That's the kind of reputation you need to get. So my advice to teachers, please stop focusing purely on marks, work on concept understanding of the student. The advice of students, understand concepts, understand why and how things work. Don't just go for the marks, build your all-round knowledge, and don't focus on AI and computer knowledge and whatever. There is tons of, if the whole world does AI, who is going to look after the rest of the world? Somebody has to do something else. Somebody has to make food in a restaurant. Who is going to become a top chef? Somebody has to build a transport system. Who is going to do that? AI is not going to do it for you. And a last comment on this AI before we close. Artificial intelligence is great, useful, but it's absolutely no use if you do not know how to use your natural intelligence. Build your natural intelligence before you start using AI. Thank you.